Hello and welcome here to Bahakel High School, home of the Knights and host of the Hickory Tavern Chick-fil-A Blakeney Winter Classic. A good high school basketball tournament here in the state of North Carolina, starting out with the first of two semifinal games. First, starting off with the Butler Bulldogs coming into this one at 5-4 behind head coach Patrick King out of Matthews, North Carolina. They're going to be led by a pretty good player in Tyler Showalter. He's got 23.5 average so far this season, also 8.5 boards, 2.8 assists, Mr. Do-It-All for the Butler Bulldogs. He's on BSA Supreme AAU, getting college looks. Some college coaches here in the building. They're going to be taking on the Charlotte Latin Hawks, led by Coach Chris Berger, team that has sent a lot of talent to the Division I level. Coach Berger, got to talk to him. He wants this team all defense. That's what they are, defense first, but they got some pretty good offensive well. They'll be led by number 5 guard James Jones. More of a point guard for them, but he says they're more point guard by committee. Jones dropping 21 points in that win against Cuthbertson to make it right here. This is just game 1 of 2 for the semifinals. Butler versus Charlotte Latin right here on Bahakel Sports. Back here at Bahakel High School, almost ready to get set. Players being announced. Nick Kloss here with you for this one. The Butler Bulldogs taking on the Charlotte Latin Hawks. A good one here in high school basketball in the state of North Carolina. Butler being announced right now and getting to just talk to Coach Patrick King about what he wants to see from his team. He said today they got to guard their actions. He knows Coach Chris Berger is going to have some things ready to throw at his squad, so they got to be ready for those things. Also, a big one for both these sides. They got to take care of the ball. You can't be giving up the ball and losing the turnover battle and win the game, and then, of course, win the battle of the boards. Got to be good on rebounds. And for Coach Chris Berger and Charlotte Latin, pretty similar keys to the game in this one. Execute those set pieces. Everything they've been running in practice all week as we get a look at James Jones dropping 21 in their last win. They got to execute those set pieces that Coach Berger has been having them run throughout this season. Win the battle of the boards, seeing that one on both sides, and then give everything. He wants 100% from his team every second on the court. He knows Butler is going to bring a lot in this one. The Bulldogs, a known basketball school here in the state of North Carolina. Very good football team as well. They got DeQuandre Currents. He's number 4 in black and red tonight. A star football player, named Offensive Player of the Year, first team all-conference on the gridiron. But today it's on the hardwood between these two. Ready to get set. The two centers, Taylor Showalter, star player, going against Nicholas Levy, kind of an everything guard, center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you name it. And we're underway. Currents picked off. Up and grabbed by Jordan Pence. Now Jones running the point. Worked around back in the corner for Jones. Guarded by Badio. Fade away off the side coming from Levy. Levy again. Back up top for Jones. Jones and Levy averaging about 13-14 a game, according to Coach Berger. In the post outside, Jones kicks it. Levy giving over to the other side. Titus Ivory going to be playing that 2 for the most part. Brendan Miles, great defender for the Hawks. Looking for the first points of today's semifinal. Number 1, we'll have another coming. Audrey Kell against Porter Ridge. Stops Levy, fade away. Off the back of the iron, picked up. Second chance points don't go for Ivory. Empty possession, quick movement. Badio, other side, up and under. He finishes in a 2-0 lead early for the Butler Bulldogs. Jones garnering some attention at the Division I level in recruiting. One of the leaders on and off the court of this team. Standing at 6'3", just a junior. One more year with Coach Berger. Pence gives it back for Jones. The pull-up Jay. Stuck. Don't see that very often. Pops back up. They're going to call that a jump ball. Arrow pointing the direction of Charlotte Latin. Here's Levy. Good defense coming from Reese Starnes, junior, standing at 6'5". Good size match at between him and Levin. Now switched on Badio. Here's James Jones, guarded by Caleb Milligan. Pence again, back for Jones. Jones pulls back. A three-point attempt off the mark. Back up. And they're saying another jump ball grabbed by number 11 in black, Tyler Showalter. It'll be Butler's ball on the baseline. 2-0 lead still for the Bulldogs. Second trip on the offensive end for them. DeQuandre Currents running the point right now. 7.4 points per game for him. Showalter guarded by Levy. The lefty pull-up jumper. Smooth like butter. So reason that man right there averages just over 23 points per game. Jones, a nice crossover through contact, draws the foul. First foul of today's game going against the Butler Bulldogs. Jones is going to have a first attempt at the line. Looking for the first points of the game for Charlotte Latin. Showalter and Badio both with 2 points to start this one. Perfect at the line is Jones. Goes 2 for 2 to start things off. Currents 4.4 assists per game, but he can finish at the rim. Nice explosiveness from the junior. Miles over for Levy. Badio nearly pokes it away from Miles. Works over Levy again. Into the corner, Jones works the baseline. 2 there, poked away. And it'll say Jones bobbled it. So out on Charlotte Latin, the Hawks turn the ball over. Bulldogs with a 4-point lead. And the ball at the baseline, Jordan Pence, 14 in white, senior, sitting at 6'3", 200 pounds, so one of the bigger players. We'll see him at the 4 and the 5. It's Currents. Inside for Starnes. Ripped away by Miles. Coach Berger says he sets the pace defensively. Going up, Ivory, a fast break, draws contact nearly the and one. But Ivory gonna go to the line to try and get his two. Badio doesn't go straight up. You saw the way he kind of propelled into the body of Titus Ivory, another great defender. Coach Berger says he plays a lot bigger than he is, 6 foot tall, but can run a 4 or a 5 if necessary. Like him better at the 3. Misses the first to keep Butler at a 4-point lead. Both these teams coming off win streaks into this one, a 4-game win streak for Butler, who started the season 1-4, as Ivory hits the second 1 point on the day for him. For Charlotte Latin, also on a 4-game win streak after starting the season 2-5. Badio kicks it out. Showalter from triple range off the front of the iron, but ripped back by Caleb Milligan. What an effort play to get it back for his team. Dished under. Currents, nice assist. And it's Reese Starnes getting the finish at the rim, making it 8-3. Levy calling his own name, fadeaway jumper off the front. Back up top, Jordan Pence gets the finish. First 2 points of the day for him. Butler keeping the pace. Mulligan with the ball now in the post for Starnes. Badio takes the right side. Mulligan from 3, too strong. Great offensive board from Starnes. Up the spin and in. Starnes, 4 points early. 10-5. Butler coming out good on offense. Here's another shot from Pence. Can't find it. 2 fouls right now for Butler, none for Charlotte Latin. 2 substitutions looking to come in. Is now under 2:35. We're going to take immediate timeout. 10-5, Butler Bulldogs up early. Ten to 5 lead here at Audrey Kell High School, Charlotte, North Carolina. Butler taking on Charlotte Latin in our first of 2 semifinal games. Nick Kloss alongside you for this one. Game 2, Audrey Kell, the host team, playing the home team against the Porter Ridge visitors. The Pirates not off to the best start this year, but find themselves in the semifinals, and sometimes all it can take is a mid-year tournament win, and that's what helps get those juices flowing. It's these one-and-done games that you like to see in high school, because what does it mean when you get to the state tournament? You got to win or you're out. Your season's over, so good preparation right now for Patrick King and the Butler Bulldogs and Coach Chris Berger and the Charlotte Latin Hawks. Showalter with the ball, pull-up jumper, the lefty, high arcing, last touched by Mulligan. Gonna give the ball to Charlotte Latin on the side. Still a 5-point lead for the Bulldogs. Butler coming in this one with 4 losses to Hopewell, UFCA, Powdersville in overtime, and Weddington. Weddington, a very, very good team. as we see some substitutions coming in for the first time today. Alex Doska, the freshman, taking the 3, and then Noah Diaz, number 10 in white, the other freshman entering the game, along with Joe McGirt, 6-foot junior. And I talked to Coach Berger before the game. He said Noah Diaz and Alex Doska, the 2 freshmen, he said they've been the first 2 guys off the bench, really good. He said they're not puppies anymore, they're dogs. They're not baby freshmen. They've played in enough varsity games now. They're ready for this, and they're ready for this moment. Currents gives it to Showalter. McGirt guarding him, having to play him up close. Draws the foul there. Second of the game for Charlotte Latin. First of the game for McGirt. Butler also switching up with Eli Greer now in the backcourt with Currents. Currents, a junior, standing at 5'10", plays DB and wide receiver for the Bulldogs football team. Goes over. Ashton Lawrence checking into the game, 0 in black. Showalter goes through 3. He had 4 on him, took the shot, couldn't hit it, and a foul going against Showalter and the Bulldogs. His first foul of the game. James Jones is going to get his first rest of this game, bringing back in Titus Ivory. Still 10-5. Butler, usually a 40% shooting team from the field, just 28% from behind the arc. For Charlotte Latin, their highlight is their defense. They've held teams to under 50 points per game since November. Coach Berger mentioned that rough start to the season as a travel's called, going against Butler and Ashton Lawrence, the senior. Another 6-foot player for the Butler Bulldogs. Diaz, the freshman, put a lot of pressure on by Eli Greer, just a sophomore, a little too much, gets the foul. Going to be Greer's first. 4th team foul here in the first quarter, 30 seconds left. And it's been both teams kind of finding their shot. We mentioned early with those keys to the game, I talked about these 2 teams trying to get into their sets and make sure they're working what they've worked on in practice, just play their own game. Levy for Ivory, works the baseline, 2 come. Back for Levy, it's under 20 seconds, 15 now. Gives it to Ivory. 10 seconds on the clock. No shot clock, so they can take their time and hold on to it. Levy for 3, off the back of the iron, high up, and grabbed down by Currents. So end of the quarter, 10-5, Butler Bulldogs, 5-point lead over Charlotte Latin. Coming up next, second quarter action. Tonight's Bahakel Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances, your outdoor kitchen and tailgate headquarters. Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, the household name for quality and trust. And Charlotte's hometown legal team. If you're injured, call the Downer Law Firm. Second quarter, about to start here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Butler Bulldogs up 10-5 over Charlotte Latin. So far, 4 points from Reese Starnes leads the way. Showalter with a pull-up two, taking a couple shots, going 1 for 3 so far in this one, taking 1 3-pointer as well. Diaz still on the floor. Jones still taking a break for Charlotte Latin. Doska, big frame for just a freshman, standing at 6'3". Goes left, gives it inside the post to Levy, goes to the middle, jump shot off the mark. Levy not shooting too well to start this one. Currents gives it to Showalter, goes in, contact with Doska. They're going to say it's actually going against Joe McGirt, getting the foul on the floor, so on the baseline for the Butler Bulldogs. A little bit of a scoring drought since a little over halfway in that first quarter. Currents over for Greer. Greer shifty, corner, Mulligan for 3. Nothing there. Jones back in the game for Charlotte Latin. The Hawks need a spark. 2 points for him. Diaz. Over for Ivory. Good ball movement from the Hawks. Ivory goes through, hop step off the backboard. No one there. Mulligan comes down with the board. Currents pushing the pace. Mulligan again from 3. Off the mark, 0 for 3 here in the first half. Jones goes over for Diaz. Doska, he'll take a 3. Off the mark, pulled down by Pence. Up and in, 2 points for the senior Jordan Pence. That gives him 4 and a 3-point lead now for the Butler Bulldogs. Currents over for Showalter. He's going to take a triple and drain it. Timeout for Coach Chris Berger. We're going to stay right here. Showalter showing what he can do with that 3-pointer. Thought he wanted the foul. Drew some contact on that one, but wasn't entirely incorrect, as we're going to look at the bracket from the Hickory Tavern Chick-fil-A Blakeney Winter Classic, the semifinals right now. Butler, Charlotte Latin, our game, and then our next game, Porter Ridge against Ardrey Kell. The championship Friday, December 22nd. That's tomorrow. We'll be right here. And then on the other side, the women, they played earlier today. Huff losing to Porter Ridge. They move on to the championship tomorrow. That'll be at 6 p.m. I'll be back on the call for that. And Charlotte Latin losing to Ardrey Kell 55-41. So that matchup in the championship, 6 p.m., the same one that we'll have for our second semifinal game, Porter Ridge against Ardrey Kell. 13-7 after that Showalter 3. 5 points now for the senior. Bobbled out of the hands of Ivory. He gets into a little bit of a hand fight with Badio, who draws the foul. Ball's going to go back into the hands of the Butler Bulldogs. Caleb Milligan, number 1 for The Bulldogs averaging just around 8.5 points per game. Second leading scorer next to that man right there, Tyler Showalter. Milligan inside the paint, up off the iron, gets his own board, but taken away by Levy. James Jones using the speed, goes up off the side and picked up by Milligan, having a really good rebounding game today. Showalter goes for the pull-up J again, high off the iron, pulled down by Badio. Up, and then a jump ball. Gives the ball back to the Butler Bulldogs on the baseline. How Butler got here was a 60-49 win over Barry. Showalter with a career high in that one, 30 points. Ari Branch, 23 and black, now in. The high floater coming from Reese Starnes, no good. Diaz works the baseline, trapped by Mulligan. Now Levy in the corner, makes him jump, pulls in for the long two. Batted out, Jones. Diaz, corner three, it's good. 13-10, Butler, 3-point lead. And Badio draws the foul. Brendan Miles is going to get called for that one. Too much contact on the far side. Coach Patrick King there, along with his assistant Chase Barnett, Christopher Kuhn, and Omega Stitt. Off to a 5-4 start, trying to make it 6-4 here. DeQuandre Currents and Eli Greer both getting some rest after playing a lot of that first half. Branch getting it from Badio, who's running the point. Milligan, other side. Starnes back for Badio. Loses the dribble. Loses the pass as well, and a turnover for the Bulldogs. Levy up off the side of the rim. Can't find the bottom of the basket today. Badio from three. Bounces high over the back of the basket. Now under 4 minutes, we're going to take a break here. So are these two teams. A 3-point lead. We got the makings of a good one here in Charlotte. 13-10, Butler up. (13-10) here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Nick Kloss alongside you for semifinal number 1 of 2. That second game, Porter Ridge against Ardrey Kell, coming 10 minutes after this game ends. So stick with us for that one right here on Bahakel Sports. The Bulldogs up by 3 right now, currently led by who else? Tyler Showalter. He had 30 in the quarterfinal game against Barry. A 60-49 win in that one. Also, Reese Starnes joining the efforts with 4 points as well. But it was a 3 from Noah Diaz that's gotten things cooking for Charlotte Latin. Nicholas Levy, kind of that everything guard. You see there, 6'6", he's in the post. Has the ball now under the rim. Being very well defended by Tyler Showalter. That's been a battle we've seen. Also Milligan matching up with him as well. The freshman Diaz pickpocketed. Branch The fellow freshman gets fouled. Brooks Casey getting called for it. They're calling it on the floor, so be at the baseline for Butler. Starnes. Showalter draws the double. DeQuandre Currents back in the game. Branch takes a three. Nearly stepped on by Diaz, no call. That's going to be the battle of the freshmen. We see 23 in black versus 10 in white. Miles kicks it out. Levy looking for his first bucket, rolls around and out. On the ground. And it looks like while on the ground, Brooks Casey was slightly out of bounds, so it's going to be Butler ball. Another turnover for Charlotte Latin as Casey will exit, and that starting rotation comes back in for the Hawks. Almost every leading scorer on the floor right now for Butler as the pass from Currents goes by. Eli Greer couldn't get to that one. Frustrating turnover there you saw for DeQuandre Currents. Jones behind the back. He's got 2 points so far. Levy still looking for those first couple points. You imagine it's got to be like floodgates where it would open as Currents marches the floor and finishes. Four points for the junior. Levy gives it for Titus Ivory. Up top for Miles. Inside, Jordan Pence. Down, Levy. Trying to draw a foul, can't do it. Tough defense from Butler. Nearly a minute left in the first half. 5-point lead for the Bulldogs. Coach Chris Berger of Charlotte Latin said he wanted this one to be a physical defensive battle. That's what they're good at. Miles causes the turnover. Showalter brings it right back. Over top. Misses. And it's just been a shooting nightmare so far for these two teams. Foul going against Showalter when he was going for that board. Charlotte Latin's going to take the ball at the baseline. Jones running the point right now. Jones went to the Elite 60 National Invite-Only Camp, which was right here, Charlotte, North Carolina. One of the standout 2025 prospects. Levy, nice pass down the baseline. Ivory goes up, draws contact, and he'll have his second trip to the line. So he was able to confuse Milligan, with some of those moves. Gets the contact on the arm. First one misses. He was 1 for 2 in his first trip to the line. Second one's good, so 2 for 4 on the day and 2 points for Titus Ivory. 15-11. It's been all defense from these two teams. Very tough. Nothing getting done inside the paint, really, except for DeQuandre Currents, the ball carrier. Getting to the rim a few times. Showalter kicks. Milligan from 3, bounces up. Showalter, the rebound, puts it back. 17-11. 10 seconds left. Jones with the ball before the end of the half. Jones Long three from the top of the key, nails it to end the half. A 3-point game between the Butler Bulldogs and the Charlotte Latin Hawks. We got a good one going into the half. Butler up 3. Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by Charlotte's hometown legal team. If you're injured, call the Downer Law Firm. Got a good one so far here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Butler Bulldogs up 17-14 over Charlotte Latin. But while we wait, it's always good to hear about some high schoolers doing great in the community. Let's hear more about Athletes for Good.
My grandma fought through breast cancer. She's a survivor, God bless her, but it was a fight, and I watched her fight every day.
Now, Ben Fowler, a grandson and a senior at Butler High School, has joined the battle to fight breast cancer.
It's awesome to kind of fight for her, fight for the women who are struggling right now, fight for the women who can only focus on this.
Ben, who runs cross country at Butler, is part of the CMS Student Athlete Advisory Council, who launched Athletes for Good this month. It is an initiative aimed at raising funds and awareness for breast cancer patients undergoing treatment. The goal is to raise $5,000 to buy care packages for those patients. The method to get there is selling bracelets at school and sporting events.
It's incredible. I think the $3 bracelets is, I know somebody that wanted to buy all 5 that I had on me one day, and they're like, that's only $15, but these 5 bracelets is gonna be something I can pass out to members to not only show what you guys are doing, but what I'm supporting, and this $15 is gonna go to a care kit for women with breast cancer.
And help guiding these students in this initiative is Tamara Satterfield, who works for CMS and is the SAAC advisor. She is also a breast cancer survivor.
To have student athletes get behind this, it just shows a different side of what we know about them. And a lot of times we see these students on the field or on the courts or in their various sports, but we don't really get to see the heart of these students. And this is an opportunity for them to shine outside of that.
At Butler High School, Jeff Taylor, Bahakel Sports.
Tonight's Bahakel Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances, your outdoor kitchen and tailgate headquarters, and by Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, the household name for quality and trust, and by Charlotte's hometown legal team. If you're injured, call the Downer Law Firm. Welcome back here to the Downer Law Firm halftime report, and don't forget to watch this week Game On, 7 p.m., streaming on Mondays right here on BahakelSports.com. Now it's Game On, streaming 7 p.m. on Mondays. And if you enjoyed this game, well, don't worry, we got another one coming up right after this. Ardrey-Kell taking on Porter Ridge in semifinal number 2. We're going to go to break one more time, and then when we come back, we'll have more from Ardrey-Kell High School between Butler and Charlotte Latin coming up after the other side. Back for the second half between the Butler Bulldogs and the Charlotte Latin Hawks. Nick Kloss with you for some high school basketball here on a beautiful Thursday evening. Hickory Tavern Chick-fil-A Blakeney Winter Classic. The semifinals, game 1 between these two teams at the half, 17-14. Game 2 coming up after this one between Ardrey-Kell and the Porter Ridge Pirates. Ardrey-Kell playing the home team in their home gym, so that works out well. Charlotte Latin, Nick Levy, not starting too great, has not shot too well. They'll need some points from him if Charlotte Latin wants to take this one over. There's Tyler Showalter, 23.5 average on the season so far in this one, just 5 points in the first half. James Jones on the other side for Charlotte Latin, that player, number 5 in white, center of your screen, highlighted him in the open. He's got 5 points as well after a buzzer beater 3 to finish off the end of the first half. Third quarter. Fresh 8 minutes on the clock and we're underway. Jones inside for Levy, gets a mismatch on Currents. Goes up, side of the rim and drops. Nothing there for Levy. Still can't find the bottom of the net. Showalter, Milligan. Into the post for Starnes. He's guarded by Pence. Badio for Currents. Currents, 6 points, leading the way for the Butler Bulldogs. Badio averages 7.6 points per game this year. Showalter on the baseline. An offensive foul. Pence draws the charge. Gets the Hawks back the ball. Bulldogs have held a lead this entire game. Charlotte Latin has not been on top once. Ivory over for Miles. Levy, the 6'6" senior. Jones, the junior of the two. Starnes outside on the perimeter, which means Levy could have the mismatch. Now he's got Currents. Draws Badio on the switch. Miles for Pence. Kicks out. Miles, guarded by Showalter. Nowhere to go. Takes the shot. Showalter picks up the board. Currents moves quick. Tries to kick it to Badio. Fumbles it with the quick moves, and that's going to be a double dribble and a turnover going against Currents and the Bulldogs. Something of note, Butler 1-2 this season when playing at a neutral site. Charlotte Latin 1-0. This will be their first loss of the season playing in a neutral tournament style. Jones goes up off the glass and out. Currents for Milligan. Fast break. Greer takes it outside and slows things down. Greer off the dribble. Milligan from three, laces one. And a timeout. 20-14, gonna stay right here for this one. Get another look. Great play by Greer to take his opponent off the dribble, kicks it out. And that's what you want to see. You always want to draw towards the middle. Kick out for the open three. Greer with a nice assist there on the Caleb Milligan three. Milligan gets his first points of today's game. Butler 5-4 on the year, 3-0 there in the Southwestern 4A. As you look at the bracket, how we got here to this point, the semifinals, Butler and Charlotte Latin, and how we'll get to tomorrow, Championship Friday. The winner of this one taking on the winner of Porter Ridge and Ardrey-Kell. Tomorrow at 6 and 7:30, the women's championship game and the men's championship game. Be right here on Bahakel Sports. Jones drives, gives it to Ivory. Ivory draws the contact on the shot. He's been good at that today. His third trip to the line. Leads the game in that category. 2 for 4 from the free throw line. He'd love to come away with both. 2 points so far in the game for Ivory, both coming at the line. First one off the front and out. If he hits the second, he'll be right on brand. He's missed the first and made the second in every trip to the line so far today. And he hits the second. 3 for 6 from the line, 3 points for Titus Ivory. Milligan drives the baseline. Out for Currents. Milligan for Greer. Greer likes the matchup. Goes to the rim. Nice pass and a finish from Reese Starnes. Greer looking like a point guard, dishing the assists out for the Butler Bulldogs. Second assist for him today. 6 points for Reese Starnes, running the 5. Levy looking for his first bucket. That one in and out. Just luck not on his side. 22-15, Greer up and in. First 2 points to go along with the 2 helpers. And a steal as Butler controls the pace and intensity of this game. Poked out by Miles, gonna stay with the Bulldogs. 9-point lead now. A good run there for Butler. We were kind of stuck at 17-14. And since then, a 7-1 run. Led by Eli Greer. Badio. Pull-up jumper. Just off. Milligan gets the rebound, but a foul on the floor coming from Nicholas Levy. Under 4 minutes now. Gonna take a break here. 24-15. The Butler Bulldogs on a run. See if they can keep it going. 24-15. Butler in the lead. (24-15) here at Ardrey-Kell High School in semifinal number 1 of 2. Porter Ridge and Ardrey-Kell take each other on after this one, about 10 minutes once this game concludes. Under 4 minutes now in the third quarter, and the Bulldogs have controlled this second half. Big thanks to that man right there. Eli Greer has been fantastic to start the third quarter. 2 assists and 2 points, but he's really controlled the pace of this game, running the point for Butler. Currents, nice behind the back, dishes to Starnes, up and in. Starnes, 8 points. 26-15, Jones kicks it to the freshman Doska. Poked up by Badio, causes the turnover. Fast break, up and in. Double-digit lead increases. 28-15, Bulldogs up by 13, and the momentum is with the Bulldogs. Charlotte Latin. Coach Chris Berger needs the timeout. And right now, it's the inside where Butler's winning it. 8 points right now for Reese Starnes, 5 points from Showalter. And the winner of this one will take on the winner of the next one, Porter Ridge against Ardrey-Kell. The start of that one coming about 10 minutes after this game concludes. So stay with us right here on Bahakel Sports for Porter Ridge taking on Ardrey-Kell. Huff and Porter Ridge took each other on the women's side of things as we look at that bracket. Porter Ridge winning 61-37 to advance to the championship game. Charlotte Latin falling short 55-41 to the host Ardrey-Kell in the championship. So the goal for the Knights is have both their men's and women's teams in the championship and playing to win their home tournament. Butler tries to move fast thanks to Greer. Poked away by Charlotte Latin, staying with the Bulldogs. Greer, hesitation into the paint, out for Milligan. Kicked over, Badio. 2 points for him on the day. Greer over for Currents. The guards for Butler just using the speed on Charlotte Latin. The shot from Greer off the mark, misses everything. 28-15 now. Still the score is Nicholas Levy takes a break. No points for him tonight. Been a tough showing and a tough shooting effort overall for this Charlotte Latin squad. Doska guarded by Badio. Ivory goes to Diaz. Over for Ivory, back to the top. Jones for three. Bounces around and out. Milligan nearly comes down with the board, but it's Badio. And now Currents has to grab it. He does. A quick 5-on-4. Currents for Greer. The three. Just off the mark. Milligan to Badio again. Almost a half rebound on both of those attempts for Badio and Milligan. Currents, 6 points on the day, gets blocked by Diaz. The freshman strides up the court. In for Pence, makes one miss, up and in. 28-17. Charlotte Latin still down 11. 6 points for the senior Jordan Pence, running the 5 for the Hawks. Fouls 2-1. Butler with the 2. Currents from Greer. Goes out on the baseline. Going to stay with the Bulldogs, but good defense from Charlotte Latin, keeping them out. James Jones as well as Alex Doska going to take a break. Bringing back in Brendan Miles as well as Joe McGirt, number 15 in white. Badio. Pull-up jumper off the back of the iron. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Miles. Diaz from the corner, hit one earlier. Off the side and out of play. Gives it right back to the Butler Bulldogs. More substitutions coming as DeQuandre Currents will take a break for Ari Branch, the freshman standout on the other side for Butler. Full press now from Charlotte Latin. Greer breaks it, has it poked away by Miles, but too much contact at the last second and a foul against Charlotte Latin. A push called against Miles, brings it back a little bit for a Butler possession on the offensive end. Turning, Starnes fades away and perfectly executed, but now a limp coming from Starnes. Foul called going against Butler, and Starnes limping over to the bench. He needs a substitution immediately. So now Bryson Chandler will check in and give the leading scorer for the Butler Bulldogs a break. 10 points for Starnes now on the bench. Missed shot from Charlotte Latin. Stops the clock at 1. Milligan and the Bulldogs will have to toss it in. Probably nothing coming. And nothing will at the end of the third quarter. Butler pulling away in this one, 30-17 here in the semifinals. 30-17 here between the Butler Bulldogs and the Charlotte Latin Hawks. The Hickory Tavern Chick-fil-A Blakeney Winter Classic here at Ardrey Kell High School in Charlotte, North Carolina. Semifinal number 1 of 2. Butler with a nice 13-point lead going into this fourth quarter. Quandre Currents had a rest at the end of the third, now back as Miles couldn't keep up, gets another foul. That's Miles' 4th foul now. So he starts to get into a concerning area for Coach Chris Berger. Greer, guarded by the freshman Diaz. Milligan for Branch. Greer kicks outside. Currents back for Greer. Down low, blocked by Pence. Chandler just closed down on by the 6'3" senior. Now Charlotte Latin to work. Need a run of their own to get back in this one. McGirt over for Miles. Pence goes up, some contact, no foul. And they're going to say a foul against Branch, which sends Pence to the line for the first time today. Jordan Pence with 6 points so far. To get here, Charlotte Latin beat Cuthbertson 52-32. Jones had 21 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. Levy had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. Haven't really seen that production today from them. Levy, no points to show today, and Jones with just 5. Second free throw, no good. Doska trying to get 3 instead of 2. Ivory goes back, tries to go under Showalter. Showalter pulls it out. Gives it to Greer. Fast break developing. Branch from 3. Branch on the board for the first time today with that 3. Ivory goes up, draws another foul. Gets to the line now for the 4th time today. He's 3 for 6. All 3 of his points coming from the free throw line. He's missed the first on every one, but been good on the second. Misses the first again. Pence getting a rest. Jones back in the game. Mentioned by Coach Berger before the game that a lot of his players can play a lot of different positions, as now Levy gets in for Titus Ivory. 4 points for him today, 4 for 8 from the charity stripe. Showalter flex to carry it up himself. Branch. Showalter again. Goes up, he draws a foul. Five points so far today from Tyler Showalter. Dropped a career high 30 in their win over Barry in the quarterfinals. And that one, Currents had 10, Badio with 8, and Milligan with 8 as well. But today it's been Reese Starnes with 10 points leading the way, along with DeQuandre Currents with 6. Second shot from Showalter, good. He goes 1 for 2. 6 points for him on the night. Jones. McGirt from Doska back in Jones in the post. Goes for the turnaround in the post, no good. Showalter for Greer. Pulls it out. Greer's got two. The pass poked away by Levi. Out on Charlotte Latin, gonna stay with Butler. Greer came into this one averaging 5.4 as McGirt pokes it away. Showalter was in a race. He's last to touch it, so a big swing there for Charlotte Latin to go all the way down to the other side. Quick 90 feet. Nicholas Levy works the baseline. Branch pokes it out. We'll try that one again from the baseline for Charlotte Latin. Coach King definitely seeing some things he's liked from his Bulldogs in this one. Doska with the pass from James. Give it to Levy. Has a mismatch. Doska. Starnes back in the game after that ankle injury seemed to irritate him. Jones with a nice finish at the rim. 34-20. McGirt putting pressure on Showalter. They're trying to get the hands into some less reliable ball carriers. Starnes misses the first. Gets his own rebound with the putback. 36-20 and 12 points today for Reese Starnes. Levy gets pushed. Too much contact there from the freshman Ari Branch. Pence comes back in for Charlotte Latin. Jones, 7 points on the day. Back for Doska. Levy draws Starnes. Goes up, blocked by Showalter. 16-point lead. Branch nearly made it two more, but Diaz fouls him. First trip to the line for Ari Branch today as 4.5 minutes remain in our first semifinal of two today. Winner of this will take on the winner of Porter Ridge Ardrey Kell. Branch gets the good bounce. 1 of 1 on the day from the charity stripe. Bulldogs with a win will make it 5 straight, 6-4 after starting the season 1-4 with losses to Hopewell, UFCA, Powdersville, and Weddington. That Powdersville loss coming in overtime. Good board from Doska, the freshman. Jones for Ivory. Ivory pulls up from the baseline, no good. Showalter has Pence just rip it out. Grabbed his nose like he was hit up high. Showalter was slow to get back. Pence misses the putback. Ivory goes up and draws yet another foul. His 5th trip to the line today. Levy couldn't find the bottom of the net. Scoreless so far today. 37-20. Taking another break, and then we'll finish this one up from Charlotte. Final 4 minutes from Ardrey-Kell High School. Winner decides who's going to the Hickory Tavern Chick-fil-A Blakeney Winter Classic Finals. And the winner of the next one coming up at 7:30 p.m. Ardrey-Kell against Porter Ridge. The winner of that one will take on most likely the Butler Bulldogs, up 17 right now with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. But Charlotte Latin still fighting, and obviously it's basketball. Anything can happen. It's a game of runs. Shooters get hot. Right now, Nicholas Levy and James Jones, the two leading scorers for Charlotte Latin on the floor. Titus Ivory there as well. And excuse me, I said that Ivory would go back to the line for the fifth time today. It will stay at 4 right now, as you see Showalter just getting too much there on Levy, who heads back to the line. First one off. Coach Berger definitely going to be looking at the performance at the free throw line, leaving some points on the board today as Levy gets his first point of today's game from the charity stripe. Here's the press from Charlotte Latin. Showalter trying to kill time. Currents now. Handoff for Milligan. Goes back to Showalter, top of the key. Poked out by Ivory. Showalter gets through 2, draws a foul. James Jones called with the push. Brooks Casey gonna check in for Nicholas Levy for the second time today. Milligan nearly left unmarked, but Charlotte Latin quickly corrects that. Both these teams on 4-game winning streaks. Looks like Butler's will continue to 5. Charlotte Latin will most likely fall to 6-6. Here's Starnes at the rim, finishes. 14 points for the 6'5" junior. Jones driving, gets to the paint, no good. Showalter has really controlled that part of the floor tonight. Hasn't allowed almost any baskets for the Hawks. Jones picks up his second foul as Showalter's gonna head back to the line. Picked up 1 in his last trip. Gets the first to go. And a lot of changes coming in as we see some other players get in. Willis Hutchinson, 23 in white for Charlotte Latin. Tyler Showalter at the line, the star of the show for the Butler Bulldogs. I mean, it's all a team effort, especially with the performance from DeQuandre Currents and especially Reese Starnes, the leading scorer for this team. But Showalter dropping 30 in that quarterfinal game against Barry is a huge reason why they are still in this tournament. Getting a big round of applause as he entered from the Butler bench. James Vastis, the sophomore, wearing 20 in black. 20-point lead now for Butler as Currents gets inside, poked away by Noah Diaz. Miles in transition. Inside for Casey, stripped away. Badio on the fast break. Gets around Doska, up and around the world and in. Badio with the acrobatic finish. gets 4 points today, and another timeout needed. Gonna stay here with 1:35 as don't forget to watch Game On streaming at 7 p.m. on Mondays right here on BahakelSports.com. Game On, everything you need to know, stream at 7 p.m. on Mondays. (43-21). Under 90 seconds left to play. Diaz. Pull-up jumper from another lefty on the floor, joining Tyler Showalter. Caleb Skull in the game. 30 in black. A junior for Butler. 21 also entering the game for the first time, Isaiah Keys. And Levi Vincent, number 10 in black, a junior for Butler as well. Keys laces the first. Ryan Lotta, 21 in white, also entering late for Charlotte Latin. Second one good. Keys 2 for 2 from the line. Diaz trying to shake off Keys on a press. Dishes off. Hutchinson. Lotta. Drives. Draws a foul. It's going to be Caleb Skull on the other end of it. Lotta didn't have it on the first one, nothing there. Hits the second, nothing but net. Under a minute left, 3-point chance. Off the back end, out of play. Shot taken by Levi Vincent, his first shot of the game. Butler's bench really getting into this one. Loving to see some of those relievers enter and play, up 45-22. Chuck Edwards hits the first. Second one gets an unfriendly roll. Edwards goes back up, picked up by Caleb Skull. Keys running the point, hands it off. Levi Vincent. Skull. 30 seconds on the clock. Remember, no shot clock in high school basketball, so we're gonna go as long as they don't take a shot, but a quick trigger from James Vastis. Nearly had it, just too hard off the back iron. Noah Diaz takes a three and draws some contact, but no foul. 10 seconds. Keys over for Vincent. Back for Keys, 2 seconds. He's gonna dribble it out, and that will finish things off. A hard-fought battle. It was just a 3-point difference between these two teams at the half, 17-14, but Butler made a run that would really separate this game to finish things out. 45-26. Reese Starnes, the big one. We'll have more in the second game coming up after a break.